money, I'm all in. Now they all know that I'm ballin'. Calling this money my calling. Feeling rushed like I'm falling. All of these wins, no stalling. Gotta get the rest of them crawling. I was hungry, starving. Made a big bet, now I got a new apartment. Now I stack, and I stack, and I stack some more. Feel like I open the door. Stepped to the money, it's all on the floor. Now I stack, and I stack, and I stack some more. Feel like I open the door. Stepped to the money, it's all on the floor.
All in, I'm playing with my dough. Bet on me, that's the only thing I know.
Tune in to Spotify. Tune in to Apple Podcasts. Tune in to iTunes, to Apple Music, even Heart Radio. The Unscripted Kayfabe is the product that we watch. To analyze the product, to watch the product, to discourage the product, to encourage the product. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, oh boy, we're getting a rant. Welcome to the Unscripted Kayfabe. No rumors, no dirt, oh bullshit. This is the Unscripted Kayfabe.
Welcome everybody to the All in Texas review. Holy shit. I can't believe it. Holy shit. And I mean, predictions were predictions. Predictions were fucking predictions. But those predictions, I mean, go to shit is all I can think about it. Those predictions don't mean a fuck anymore. I fucking predicted that Jon Moxley was gonna retain because there was no fucking build to prove that for this fucking company. They didn't give us an outstanding build. They kind of left it open at the last Dynamite before All in Texas. So it was like a bit 50-50. It was like, is he gonna win Mox? Who knows? I kind of left it there. I really thought he could have won. But you know, you get that fucking feeling. You get the spirit of All In. Cody Rhodes said it better. You got the fucking spirit of All In, right? You got the spirit of All In. It felt the spirit of All In. You know, that fucking feeling. The fucking feeling felt there. The show kicked off. At the moment where I really started feeling that Hangman's winning, and it's gonna happen, is the finish of the Young Bucks versus Ospreay and Swerve. I fucking knew he's winning it. And more if I was ever sure that he was winning it, was the finish between the Texas Death Match. I should not have fucking finished, my bad. I'm just going crazy with this shit. Not the finish where Hangman came out and Hangman Adam Page was legit that team, you know, him coming out. The promo for his entrance was just fucking outstanding. It was like, it is in the heart of Texas, Arlington, Texas. To down to the heart, whatever. I mean, he's the heart of all of AEW and might be the heart of Texas and pro wrestling, you know. Because he came out there, I mean, he's not a Texan, he's a Virginia boy, but he's a cowboy through and through. And the promo package they played from, I knew fucking that this guy was gonna win this shit. It was right there, you know. It was right there, and I couldn't tell anybody and anything to anybody who understands that why Hangman would have not won. Hangman was gonna win. The cowboy was gonna fucking win. It's interesting, you know. We're gonna talk about more about this. We're going to do a full detailed review. We're here with the Unscripted Kayfabe. But let's get started, man. All in Texas. What a fucking show that was. Again, we're talking about Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley and that fucking finish. And how just, man, I can't believe that they did it. We are looking at a really great time for AEW. We are looking at something that we were missing from AEW. We are looking at the ambience of All Elite Wrestling coming back alive and ready to go. AEW is back. It feels lit. It's been 2 fucking rough years for this company. Two fucking rough years. To put the 2 out there. I'm not gonna fucking say piece or 2 ass, nah, fuckers. But it's been 2 fucking years for All Elite Wrestling to feel this fucking shit. My God. How business has picked up. JR said all the time, business just picked up. Business has picked up for AEW and All Elite Wrestling with this fucking show. And this fucking ending. The roar from the cowboy at the end. Just a man so broken down, going to the dirt with Swerve. Getting his fucking house invaded by Swerve. And all that shit what Swerve did to him. And how much pain he went through. How much of a fucking, crazy ass lunatic he became because of Swerve. Because of the feud with Swerve, I would say. What drove him insane. The things Swerve did and when what he did vice versa back to Swerve. Hangman was a broken man, and this broken man, this picture right here, this picture of Hangman at a page tells you none other than what I'm gonna say again. A man rejuvenated from all the fucking emotions and everything he's been through, stuff again he's done with Swerve, everything he did with the Elite, all of these past fucking 2 years, what has been risen him up to get this moment. The guy who was cast aside because of one fucking politician in that company, CM Punk. I'm not here to defend Punk because we're not here to talk about him in WWE, okay? So bear with me. I'm not saying that I fucking hate CM Punk, but CM Punk did some shit over there. CM Punk's ego got fucking bruised so bad that, he was so pissed after that fucking promo that he said to, Hangman said to Punk. He was so pissed after that. He was so pissed. CM Punk had lost his shit. If he went to Tony Khan and said, hey, Hangman shouldn't win. If everybody knew Hangman needed to win at that time. We're talking about his first reign where he should have beaten CM Punk. And how Hangman after that was fucking cast aside. Legit. Hangman at a page was fucking cast aside. So it's so great. This guy, he was cast aside after that politician CM Punk went in and said to Tony Khan, hey, I want to win, and I need to win. I have to win. Hangman can't win. I'm your one draw. He ain't your draw. I get it. He was the draw. I'm not gonna fucking say that he wasn't. He's not lying about that at all. But the way he did it, and I was pissed at that time about it. I was like, I wasn't okay about it because it wasn't okay. Hangman at a page reign got fucked over because I believe Hangman's needed to win that, and they fucking, Punk took it up. Tequila to cool me down, man. Some tequila to cool me down. Good God, some tequila. But I didn't think tequila. Nonetheless, what a fucking ending. The roar from Hangman at a page just lives on. And my God, it's everything that's built up to it. The guy who was cast aside. The guy who was, the spot was taken away. And then he went to war with Swerve. And where Swerve Strickland just came in and he, came in invaded his home. And how much that fucked him up even more. And the things he did back to Swerve. Hey, this guy, he was so broken and damaged when he got into a feud with Swerve. He was perfect at first. was talking about, you know how he announced this, people were talking about this over and over again, going to charity, everything, all this build up to this moment, to the relief that he feels now, to the relief he feels. He let go of all the things he did to Swerve. He let go of everything Swerve did to him. He reconciled with Swerve Strickland. He fucking buried the hatchet with Swerve Strickland. To move on. He buried that hatchet, that grudge with Swerve Strickland. They talked it out on Collision. He buried it. He became something better. He rejuvenated himself. And the war that you see in this freaking photo right here, the fucking war that I put out there, and why I think this is the picture, just describe this shit out there more than ever. And what does this mean? This means that he did it. He is relieved, and he has done it. After the pain with Swerve, and now burying the hatchet, letting it go, and becoming a better person to save this company from that fucking Dictator John, what MJF calls him. Hangman did it. He saved AEW from a dying ship to something that might be getting cooler, and it's time to, rise up into the fucking leads again, hopefully. Man, what a fucking ending to this show match, man. What a fucking ending. There's no more to describe this. What a fucking ending to this. I mean, I'm not gonna keep on saying how much I would say over and over that I've not fucking said enough about this shit. But my god, that this cowboy motherfucker, he went in an All In Texas. He did not bring his fucking family in. He went in because he knew it was gonna be brutal, it's gonna be destructive, it's gonna be fucking annihilated. He was gonna get fucked up, and he was gonna fuck up Jon Moxley too. I'm gonna get goosebumps talking about this shit. That's how much it means to an AEW fan. I'm a fucking AEW fan. I might be, talking about how Mercedes Mone is not fucking this and how she's done shit and how she's not doing stuff. I am still a fucking AEW fan through and through, and I will continue to fucking support. If Jon Moxley would have won, I would have been pissed. There would have been a rant on the show. There would be no fucking talking about other stuff, how great that was. Because that would have fucked up the entire show. This fucking ending. If this didn't happen. But my god, it did happen. It did happen. It is insane. We'll put some more, drink a little more. Coppers of dead old big one. A little crazy. It did happen. He did it. From all the shit he went through, he fucking did it. He's the fucking cowboy. There's no more to say about anything that I'm not said before. This is a fucking cowboy. He's that man, and he fucking did it, He did it. He just the mask too. It's by Renhurst to resembles to the All In colors, or the Texas. How Texas looks. Red, yellow, as a red, white, and blue with stars. Well, kind of like that was say. But with a star. It's America, whatever, it doesn't matter, but it's kind of like, it just felt, if that divide, it just felt like this is a mask again or whatever. Nonetheless, what a fucking, just, again, what he went through, let's talk about it again and again. To get that relief to what he went through, be cast aside from CM Punk, and then when he went through an injury with Jon Moxley in 2022, the same year, and then when he came back, and when he went to a Texas Death with Mox, and then he faced the Blackpool Combat Club, and then after he was done with the Elite, after he started doing something else, him and Swerve, and how Swerve Strickland really changed, that's really, cowboy. He was rich, he was fine. It was really a sane person. Swerve Strickland fucked him up more than ever, and Swerve Strickland drove him through hell, and he went through it with Swerve Strickland. And everything he said after that, he became just insane, and his goal was to make sure that Swerve Strickland will never be AEW World Champion. Obviously, Swerve Strickland becomes AEW World Champion, but Hangman Adam Page still was the fucking evil in his mind that he believed that he is never fucking gonna let that happen. And he did it. He was never gonna let that happen. Costed him against Bryan because he was like, I'm never gonna show you AEW World Champion. And then talking it out and then going through stuff with MJF to realize stuff, and then finally, going through everything to get into the fucking Owen Hart tournament final with Ospreay, who's another favorite that everybody was loving and interested in. They just wanted him to be that fucking guy to take over Jon Moxley. Which felt right for Hangman. And that moment where he won, and everything changed for him, and the relief for what he'd been through, and when he was choking out Jon Moxley, the moment, the tears in his eyes, just tears, him crying with all the blood in his hair, the blood, the crimson mask in his face, the tears rolling down, the cowboy, our millennial hero did it. Hangman Adam Page, who fucking toppled the belt collector Kenny Omega back in 2021, does it back here as the cowboy in Texas. And the emotion that this image describes to you is none other than fucking great. Still, man, it's hard to believe that what this company went through, in these fucking past 2 years. We're talking about from All In and Wembley, the first All In Wembley, to now. This company finally feels like they're on a roll. They're back where they fucking belong, because they are motherfucking All Elite Wrestling, and that's what they're supposed to do. Long-term booking, long-term storytelling. They're back with that, and they're gonna fucking kill it. They're back. We are no longer in the EVP bullshit. We're no longer in Dictator John or the fucking Death Riders and all that fucking garbage that we went through. And the Elite, or whatever the fucking started again. And Tony Khan getting fucking attacked. We're back with AEW. And Hangman Adam Page is the guy to lead them into the fucking top tier that they need to go into. And it's cheers to the Cowboy, which drinks up. Cheers to Cowboy, drink up to the Cowboy. You're back. I should have some Jack Daniels, but fuck it, I don't care. Really? I don't got time to get fucking Jack Daniels, alright? But nonetheless, everything you've been through was just fucking insane, okay? It's legit one of the greatest things in pro wrestling. I mean, in AEW at least. His match with Swerve, story that told a broken man right there who thinks that he still wasn't relieved. He felt relieved after what he did to Swerve at that steel cage barbaric match that they had. Story they told in that too. I mean, it's hard to describe if that's one of my favorite. I would argue with you if that was your favorite match of 2024, because my god, the story they told in that was incredible. He is a story-told character. He's the fucking main character of this company. Hangman Adam Page is AEW through and through. He is homegrown. He is the heart and soul of this company. Without him, this company just go into fucking directions, because he is the guy who's there to lead it. Hangman Adam Page is the guy who leads us into the next millennial of All Elite Wrestling. Thank you very much for more about that. But nonetheless, I hope everybody feels what I feel about this, because that's how I feel about this. I legit feel like this had to happen. And what this guy has been through, I'm gonna talk about it over and over again because I have to. From him first, you know, we can go all the way fucking back. From him, it's all about long-term booking with his character and what he's been in, his downs and his ups and all that shit. When AEW started, him and Cody together with the Elite, all that shit, and then facing Chris Jericho at All Out for the AEW World Championship, which was first introduced at that time, and coming up short, and then start to drink, and it's just drinking and drinking and drinking all the time, fucking drinking, to having Kenny Omega as his tag team partner, and then everything getting fucked up with that, to just be alone and sad and just depressed, and getting in the Dark Order, and getting after the death of Brody Lee, becoming that hole for the Dark Order, leading them and becoming a better person, giving a birth to a beautiful baby boy. That is cowboy shit. He describes his cowboy shit as more than anybody. You know, that's cowboy shit. And then toppling over Kenny Omega with the nod of the Bucks. The Legion and his brethren. The nod from the Bucks. And becoming the world champion after all the struggle of the drink and everything he went through. Putting the drink aside and celebrating and becoming the world champion. And then just having bangers with stuff, and it can be cast aside by CM Punk's politics, to then an ego, to then just going through hell with Mox getting injured again, and then just went hell with back in with the Elite and Blackpool Combat Club together, and that to everything else he's been through was just the stuff with Swerve that started happening, and how that fucked him up, how Swerve invading his home, how what kind of fucking Swerve went through dirt, and Hangman went back with it. And Hangman became a fucking insane psychopath. He became a psychopath, a man who was enraged with revenge, and his goal was to make sure that Swerve Strickland doesn't become AEW World Champion. And that Swerve Strickland loses the title because of Hangman Adam Page at All in Wembley the second year. And then going to war with Swerve, and then taking his ass out to feel how broken down he was, and it getting through that, and it's starting to become a better person, getting through stuff with Christopher Daniels to realize that what's going on and how things need to change, and becoming that leader for AEW again is none like other. Putting Christopher Daniels out of in-ring action, putting him in fucking retirement hole. That's cowboy shit for Hangman Adam Page. And then going head to head with Ospreay and go fucking going a shootout with that fucking bruv at AEW Double or Nothing this past year. That's cowboy shit. Within that, the emotion went through, and now leading this company away from being a part of Dictator John and EVP land. That's cowboy shit. And then the nod of Swerve, the guy who he went hell through with, the grudges that he had, he buried it, he talked about a collision, he let it go. And then the nod, I'm feeling emotional talking about this, man. The nod with this, which is the Swerve gave him for that fucking moment. With Swerve and the tears crying when he, and Hangman Page in tears is crying when he opens the freaking briefcase. With all tears and the blood running down his face and everything fucking going through hell with Swerve and everything he's been through to the start of this fucking company, through the Bullet Club, before that even. Hangman Adam Page, the true heart and soul of AEW. This guy is a never leaving AEW guy. This guy is AEW at its core. He is the guy that you have to you can never let this guy ever go. fucking never let Hangman Adam Page ever go. Hangman Adam Page is all elite wrestling at its finest and at its core. This is fucking Hangman Adam Page. Nothing more I'm going to say about this. I have not said more about it. The cowboy in Texas, the cowboy from Virginia, but still a cowboy, representing the Texans more than ever. The crowd, the signs are: if Hangman loses, we riot. If Mox wins, we riot. The Texans were gonna riot because this is their cowboy, and he had to win, and he damn well shorted. And we'll talk about it again. The moment I felt like he's winning is legit when the Bucks lost. I felt like that was the moment. When the Bucks lost to Swerve and Ospreay, I felt like that was the moment where he would be now winning the World Championship from Jon Moxley, or as MJF calls it, Dictator John. It's great, man. It's some great stuff. It was an awesome stuff. We can talk about more cameos and stuff. Darby Allin, man. Darby Allin came back. And, you know, there was a promo he cut on Jon Moxley on top of fucking Mount Everest. He did a video package. We cut a fucking promo on top of Mount Everest for Jon Moxley. And he fucking, railed through Globe Life Fields, the top of the fucking stadium. He just fucking went through all that shit. That was one of the most coolest and fucking... I was scared for Darby. I was like, oh my god, he's a fucking Daredevil. How much hype this fucker was on? It's insane. Darby Allin, my god, that fucking return, how he returned at All in Texas was just insane. How Darby Allin retained at All in Texas was just fucking insane. It was just great. And people could, I have a sense to talk about here. People get mad, talk about all the one they want to say, oh, they copied Double or not, they copied WrestleMania 40. They did not copy WrestleMania 40 one bit. If they had copied WrestleMania 40, I would have really faulted it. I mean, everybody wouldn't like, okay, they're really actually copying them. This was kind of like that, but this was more than that. Okay, this was their own thing. It's a Texas death match. It was just death. There was death and blood and all the shit. I mean, I'm gonna want to talk about more about this. Jon Moxley starts bleeding. We'll talk about this later on in the fucking full review. We're gonna be starting up soon to talk about that. But my god, how much hell he went through, man. All this shit. It's just what he's been through, Hangman Adam Page, and the more that he does here. I mean, look at it. And then Darby returning, and that's just fucking crazy, bro. Darby Allin fucking hanging from the top of Globe Life Field. I was fucking scared for at first. And Bryan Danielson, the guy who was discarded and fucking taken out by Jon Moxley and the Death Riders, or the fucking Pussy Riders, or the fuck I call it. The death of AEW, the Death Riders, or fucking whatever shit they are, fucking choked out by him. It was all great. Bryan returning in a fucking mask. I think he was wearing the All in Texas mask. He returned in like a blue mask, and it just was so fucking crazy. The crowd went crazy. The yes, 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 yes. Bryan was doing the yes. Every fucking guy was doing the yes. It was awesome. And again, that's another thing, Bryan and the yes shit, and WWE can feel whatever the fuck they want to feel. They're just fucking bitter and fucking, jealous, clearly. They're fucking annoyed that Bryan has not come back to their company. Who gives a fuck? I don't. I gotta see Bryan Danielson at the fucking top of his career in AEW, so unfairless. It's what the man wants. Would like to see him back in WWE? I don't know where you put him in that role. I don't know where would you put Bryan Danielson in that role. I don't know if you were putting him in that fucking role. Really, and that's the fucking case, but that's not the case. We're in a downtime for WWE, man. That's another topic we'll discuss later on. Actually, it's not a WWE thing at all. We're not going to talk about anything about WWE. The show was a fucking great show. Goddamn, I lost my voice. I'm with fucking puberty all of a sudden. What the fuck is going on? We're going to talk about this man with the war of Hangman Adam Page. They got their little cameos in there, not Wrestlemania-like, but whatever, how they did it was still awesome. So it was not like that. I'll meet Darby and Bryan, or what the hell, and Ospreay coming out. Which again, Ospreay got taken out at Samoa Joe, but they took Ospreay, the Death Runners took Ospreay and Joe both out on the night. So like these two big features, so that kind of will put something like, oh my god, something's going on. And I was like, if you took these two out, there's for sure Hangman Page is winning that. It's her heartbeats guy that. Anyways, we're gonna get into review. Let's get started with that. What a great show. And then I'll talk about again the roar of Hangman Adam Page. This picture you look at, the roar of the cowboy lives fucking true and true. Let's get into the review in a short while. So man, the show started off really, the amount of fucking, I gotta talk about this as well. I mean, we talked about all that shit. I'm still getting goosebumps talking about Hangman Adam Page and how fucking great he is for what he does. But, the show really started off as being a started off at the 0 hour, which we, again, would be mentioning here, about to talk about that for sure. It started off with 0 hour, at it be really the 0 hour fucking show. So let's get started with the review. The show kicked off would be the trios match between Samoa Joe. Oh, sorry, my bad. Not to kick off the show. We're going to talk about 0 hour 2. Man, let's just discuss here. This fucking show. This show was 8 hours long in total. It beats WrestleMania. And you don't even need to figure that out because you watch the show. You're like, oh my god, it's the longest fucking pay-per-view you've ever fucking seen in your life. Oh shit. Whatever. This show was 8 hours long in total. WrestleMania was 7 hour 30 minutes long, so it beats WrestleMania, whatever. I'm gonna talk about that. It's just, the show was so fucking long. We're gonna kick off with the 0 hour show because we're gonna talk about that as part of the show. It counts. It's quite to talk about there with the 0 hour show. So it was legit an 8-man tag team match. Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes, Ross Von Erich, Marshall Von Erich, and Sammy Guevara defeated Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Carly Bravo, and Captain Shawn D. It's what it is, if you know Shane Taylor Promotions, he's doing some great stuff in Ring of Honor right now, so it's cool to see what he's doing. But their team is defeated, so I'm not gonna say much about this. So the show kicked off with this tremendous homestay welcome as the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and the Von Erich brothers teamed up to take on the opposing unit of Shane Taylor Promotions. Backed by the legendary Kevin Von Erich, the crowd at the Global I Feel erupted as Texas' favorite sons made their entrance. That match began Sammy Guevara more engaged in fast-paced exchange, with Guevara hitting a crisp corkscrew dropkick and keeping up a loud ovation. Sons of Texas, they're fucking over there. It's like, we know that. We got it. They're over there, so, they were going to get a great reaction nonetheless. Because both of them are from Texas, especially Dustin Rhodes, who's a fucking Texan born and bred. get to that anyways. So, but Lee slipped away and brought Carly Bravo, Marshall, and Ross responded with classic tag team fundamentals, with STB soon overwhelmed Ross with stomps and Dana offense in the corner. Well, it was a pretty okay match, which seems to be it. Momentum shifted again as Captain Sean Dean and his Hoach 2, followed by Shane Taylor's promotions. The corner splash and Marshall. Taylor briefly took control, flapping all 4 Sons of Texas with sheer power. It's Shane Taylor Promotions, he's the fucking big guy. Obviously, it's going to be something, big to his offense and whatever stuff he does. And ringside tensions escalated with Anthony and Go-Go and Kevin won Eric's space. But the Go-Go quickly backed down when Wyatt, this is Wyatt here, and Wayne Rhodes, grandsons of Dusty and students of Dustin Rhodes, emerged from the crowd to stand alongside with a Hall of Famer. Okay. Interesting stuff, man. Wow, it was good. Back to the ring, Dustin Rhodes tagged and ignited the crowd with a string of signature offenses, hitting up a classic snap power slam, crossroads on Bravo, unleashing vintage fire across the ring. All 8 men slipped into the ring as Chaos took over, culminating in a nostalgic, symbolic moment with all 4 Sons of Texas playing simultaneous, what the fuck am I reading? This man's kind of somebody reads something like that. Simultaneous, what the fuck did I just say? Whatever, Iron Claws to members of STP. A simultaneous Iron Claws. He applied the Iron Claw. A Go-Go attempt to interfere again. By the time Cuttermore and Von Erich entered the ring, it clamped on his iron claw to belly, bricked, sending the fans into a frenzy. So the fans went crazy for that shit, I guess. When the ring contestant took an Iron Claw press on Carly Bravo and held him down for the 3 crowd. Okay, so this match was quite a Texan, house welcome match for them, but I guess Shane Taylor Promotions didn't do much on this show, did they? Big Boom AJ, conglomeration, and the conglomeration is called the conglomeration. Big Boom AJ, the fucking Big Boom AJ, the fucking big chunk chocolate cookie, all that fucking shit, cringe as fuck. Everything people think is fucking trending is awesome. No, it's not. Let me fucking tell you that right now. What's trending doesn't make it fucking awesome all the time. So let's fucking move on from that. And they're not even trending anymore. Let's be real. Their fucking hype is gone fucking down the fucking drain. Big Boom AJ and fucking Big Justice and the Riddler. Their hype is only because of AEW. That's the fucking it. They don't have fucking hype anymore. You were cool for a while, the hug to a girl, whatever the fuck, who cares? Everybody's trending for a while. Big Boom Agent conglomeration. Let's say that again. The conglomeration, hologram, Kyle O'Reilly, Tomohiro Ishii. Tomohiro Ishii, man, Ishii's back. I haven't seen him that much recently. Defeated the Don Callis family, Hechicero, good god, the Luchas from CMLL. Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta, the Don Callis family. Holy shit, who gives a fuck about that? Those fucking losers out here. Who the fuck? Rocky Romero gets no fucking reaction, okay? And Lance Archer, he's fucking Lance Archer. I don't know what else to say about that. Trent Beretta, I don't know why the fuck they disbanded their best friends. I don't know what the fuck happened to Chuck Taylor. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. I get Orange Cassidy's out of action, but I don't know what the fuck is with this Trent Beretta and this Don Callis shit. So this match started off with an alliance of obviously Big Boom Age and Hologram Colorado Abomination. The conglomeration. The match opened with simultaneous brawls erupting around the ring. Hologram Romero paired off early with Masked Phenom hitting a stunning standing moonsault and drop kicks that send Rocky reeling. Attack to O'Reilly led to a flash of teamwork, including a demolition-style elbow drop. Okay, demolition. That's a cool thing, I'll say that. Hechicero and Hologram tasked with their lucha mat exchanges. Oh god, Hechicero and Hologram, man. Holy shit. What the fuck they're supposed to do now? CMLL shit now, I guess. A drop to hold into a sunset flip led to a series of reversals and near falls, culminating in a crisp victory roll-up for the Hologram and nearly ended it later. Hologram landed a beautiful Spanish fly on Romero, only to be cut off by Hechicero's running drop kick. Seems like a good match, and I didn't watch him really. Seems like a good match right there. As the action spilled to the outside, Tomohiro Ishii and Lance Archer collided in the Battle of Bulls. Archer gained the upper hand momentarily with a front suplex slam and huge elbow strikes, but Ishii railed and back with a thunderous vertical suplex to drop the Murder Hawk monster in the center of the ring. From there, Big Boom Asia re-entered the fray, hitting a spine buster on Trent Beretta and a press slam that sent Romero sailing on the outside. Well, Big Boom, Rocky Romero was fucking set on the outside. That was actually funny. The Big Boom Asia is the power of boom, the boom boom. Asia looked to finish the job with his signature power boom, but interference from Hechicero and a rising knee strike briefly halted his momentum. Hologram responded with the flying Frankensteiner on Archer and sent Atomico to the floor, and a white dot both Archer and Hechicero. The crowd roared, and Big Boom Asia regained control, delivering a fierce lariat to Beretta. Big Justice that stormed to the ring helped his father and leveled Beretta with a surprise. The stage for the finish. Okay, is that the fucking thing? Big Boom AJ. He has got so much fucking this. Big Boom AJ's aura is like so much that Big Boom AJ got the fucking spear with Big Justice. As the referee turned back around, AJ hoisted up Romero and dropped him with a power boom, a thunderous sit-out powerbomb to seal the victory for the conglomeration. This is the conglomeration! Hologram, Colorado, and Tomohiro Ishii. Congratulations, man. What the fuck should I say? Well, it looks like a fun match, Looks like a great match. Check out. I didn't watch it. I could care less. The most embarrassing thing is to say, so the past fucking 2 years, the FTR has been in top-tier tag team matches, and now they're What the fuck was I saying? Man, stupid. Now they're facing the Outrunners, Truth Magnum, and Turbo Floyd. The fucking tag team from the 80s. Or the gimmick is. I find the gimmick quite interesting, but if they were... I don't get this. They were on fucking 0 Hour. FTR, one of the best fucking tag teams. Tony Khan puts them on 0 Hour. It's great, man. Great. Your best fucking tag team is on 0 Hour. When you have fucking Jet Speed out there who are fucking jokes. And they're fucking explaining to us, oh, we're gonna get this thing, and fucking Stokely Hathaway saying this shit, I don't know what the fuck, and this just infuriates me. Why the fuck you have such a great tag team, and you don't have them on your show, but you have fucking Loser Speed on your show? Fucking jokes and jobbers and weight of fucking nothing. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of this fucking Jet Speed. The Jobber Steed, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay, so. Anyways, let's talk about this match right here. Between, which we also did not check out. The Outrunners cut in a fast-paced, fiercely competitive tag team clash, while FTR ultimately walked away with the win. Turbo Flight, obviously they won. We'll go on from that. And may have a little bit of an interference, probably for Stokely Hathaway. The match kicked off with Truth Magnum and Dark Saber trading holds in a traditional grappling exchange until Magnum robbed Hardwood into a sharp right hand. Outrunner stayed hot, isolating Cash. It's a 80s wrestling match, the 80s tag team wrestling match that we just saw here between these two tag teams. And keeping ring cut in half with quick tags and tandem offense, Turbo landed a big back suplex, but Wheeler managed to roll on the ropes, breaking count. Harwood exploited an opportunity outside for targeting Floyd's knees, slamming it into the barricade and clipping it on the ring apron. Backus and Dax locked on a figure four leg lock, wrenching the hold as the referee Paul Turner monitored closely. He got his clinched right. Excalibur noted as Floyd writhed in pain. Operators fought back valiantly. Turbo eventually made the hot tag, delivering scoop slam over scoop slam and a pair of charging lariats. In the corners, a huge double clothesline leveled both FTR members. The crowd roared with Outrunners kicking with total recall, signature tag finisher, but as Turbo covered for Hardwood for the 3 count, Stokely pulled Floyd off the pin to break it up. That moment changed everything. Floyd confronted Big Stoke, but then the distraction, Stokely Hathaway helped him win, what seems like the case here. Stokely Hathaway helped them win right there. And then we got to talk about the year with leveled, the crowd roared as the Outrunners moved on from that. Floyd returned back around. Harwood snuck in with a schoolboy roll up and for the win. FTR scored the win. FTR won. I don't know why the fuck what was the fucking point of this all shit. You know, whatever. I guess. Who cares? It's on Zero Hour of all places. It's just interesting, you know. It is legit interesting. That match between the Third Syndicate, the Jet Speed, and fucking the Patriarchy, that match was just not clicking either. I don't know what the fuck the hell was. But I'm just saying that this fucking tag team who has really killed it for AEW in the past 2 All-Ins is on a fucking 0 hour. It's great. Okay, let's talk about what we're starting off talking about it first. The trios match between the Ops, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse, Hobbs, Katsuyori, Shibata, defeated the Death Riders, as we know, Claudia Castagnoli, Wheeler, and Cape Kid. Blackship broke immediately, 6-man pair going into brawls, it clashed one and another. Meanwhile, exchanged heavy shots at ringside with carnage unfolding alongside the arena. Shibata and Kid traded vicious strikes in the center of the ring. Elbow dropped to a knee, only for the War Dog to answer back with a turning palm strike on the zone. You know, it was a back and forth match. I get it. Overwhelmed with smaller man with jazz, massive right hook, and a whip into the ropes that ended into a brutal black elbow and his signature insecurity. Powerhouse Hobbs tagged in and put his strength to the deal. Delayed vertical suplex that left Yuta scourge and play him in a penalty kick for near Death Riders. Fired back with a quick... Joe got tagged in, obviously. Death Riders fired back with a quick... Body even used a giant swing and a barricade on Hobbs to try to get the tie. Dave Kidd spent taunting, brutalizing Joe with stomps. Now nearly put Shibata away with a sheer drop Grainbuster. But the very veteran kicked out one of the War from Texas crowds. You know, I want to talk about this more thing than anything, but this fucking match, dude. This fucking match right here. You know, it was just I don't know what to say. I understand why they did it. When I was watching it, I was like, what the fuck is the meaning of this? Because it didn't seem hot. It was not engaging the crowd. I felt like, would you not start off with the Bucks and Osprey and, you know, something like that? Maybe start off with that. Bucks, Osprey. We do that, you know, start off with Bucks and Osprey or something. Why would you not do that, you know? No, but they just didn't feel like that was the case, so they did this match. I would say they should have started off with Bucks versus Osprey and Swerve, but they chose with this. You know, frustrated by the loss, Claudia Castagnoli with a Shambar brain to secure the win. Muscle Buster. The Muscle Buster got a really huge pop. That got a really huge pop. Samoa Joe hit the Muscle Buster to win and retain the... Yeah, Yuta was like that got a huge pop. Talking about the Muscle Buster Joe hit for the win. The Casino Gauntlet match. As we know, Mark Briscoe and MJF already announced picks, and they had a talk on Dynamite. Ricochet entered third. quickly aligned with MJF, double teaming Briscoe and until Bandito joined next and turned the ride with a flurry of offense. Bandito back a body drop everyone to the floor and followed up with cannonball on Friedman. The rain filled rapidly from there. Konosuke Takeshita, Mystico, and Josh Alexander. No, Mystico, well, he got not a great ovation from the crowd in America because, you know, not that many people watch CMLL and the Luchador, whatever the fuck. He didn't get that much ovation. They were expecting for him. But hey, you know, his song is over. The song seems like a song that could connect with anybody. It's kind of what... Man, will say it with me, so I don't want to say about that. And nonetheless, moving on. While Mystica soared through the air with the Toru plancha and locked MJF in La Mystica. So Blue Thunderbound Triangle moonsaults and all that stuff happened between Mystico and MJF. Anthony Bowens, Roderick Strong, Brody King enters. Oh, Brody King got a big pop. Brody King got a huge pop. Anthony Bowens, the 5'2" player, nothing but a fucking jobber at the end of the day. Moving on from him, please. Front kick ass, a breaker. Ricochet's swing out Buster, Bowens impressive swing out Buster, face Buster Ricochet. A strong showcase signature punishing backbreakers. You know, Roderick Strong is big on breaking backs. That's his fucking gimmick for a while, so we know that. Fucking assisted backbreaker and end of the kick on Ibushi later in the match. Kota Ibushi was also who came up with the match. A clean-shaven return, and Juice Robinson. Bro, Juice Robinson got a huge pop too. And Juice Robinson, I want to talk about this. You know, right now the fucking crowd just seems like the sales of fucking, I don't know what the fuck was up with this crowd. This crowd, I don't know. This crowd seriously felt like they were not a wrestling crowd. They were a sports entertainment crowd or a mainstream wrestling crowd or whatever the fuck those are in WWE that we have to see all the time, you know. So they were not entertained by anything they were doing, really. I mean, this card was fucking dead. Legit. The sale was like a win. Like, the show was not... I mean, this was fun. Casino Golden Get match was fun by one. But again, you know, Juice Robinson, man, that guy got so fucking... I don't know. I mean, I didn't know that he was that fucking tall in the first place. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Well, great, you know, great stuff. Moving on from who entered as being Juice Robinson to the fight to Ricochet, only to be blinded by the Gates of Agony, who assisted Ricochet until the guns run in to neutralize interference. Guns came back. It's been a long time since seeing them. Ricochet only got a win by shooting fast to MJF, broke the pin at the last second. Kota Ibushi entered number 12, the Golden Star, in action with precise round kicks and a gaming Geary, I guess, on gamer, sorry, a Brody King, and standing moonsault on Bowens for a near fall, beats Mortos falling at number 13, bringing devastating power with a tombstone code breaker on Bowens and a pop-up Samoan drop on Juice Robinson. Finally, the Max Caster barely made it into the ring, tripped over by Bowens, blasted by Roderick Strong. Briscoe returned and arena fired, then by Jadrill, only MJF to strike behind. From the sealing the pin with a simple lateral press. It was predictable. We knew that MJ, I mean, you could tell if Darby was not gonna retain. Who the fuck are they gonna put that fucking spot on to make them the number one contender? My prediction was MJF, and it was MJF. It was predictable. Let's talk about something that was not really planned in the show. It would be Adam Cole thing, and it's again prayers out to Adam Cole. You know. It is sad as hell what happened to him. Legit. One of the greatest fucking wrestlers to ever lace up his boots. In AEW and Ring of Honor and WWE history too. I mean, dude has fucking killed any fucking promotions ever been to. And recently he was trying to become cold, and it recently it started to feel like this, I don't know, his wrestling matches weren't clicking at the, yeah. And now we know why, because Adam Cole says that I've had a great career, and I explained that his medical issues have rendered him, and he can no longer possibly be sidelined, and he does not know how longer he'll be expected to come back again. So I don't even talk about retiring. I'm not in the right headspace. I'm not feeling well. I'm not mentally well right now. I had cold choked emotion as we rest the fans, think blast him. And in AEW are the best damn wrestling fans in the world. The Thunderous Salvation, since I was 9 years old, I have a dream of being a professional wrestler. As we know, Cole has been, Shawn Michaels was the inspiration of Wrestlemania, as we know that already. But my highest moments and my lowest moments. I will love you forever, Cole connected. Gratitude and thank you for making AEW what it is. Thank you for making AEW so special. You all so damn much. Thank you all so much for changing my life. I love you always. I think it's a y'all. I just said, oh, my bad. Nonetheless, Cole and then they get hugged and the conglomeration of Paragon or Virtuous or whatever the fuck they're called. They came in and they, popped. It was an emotional thing to see. Moving on to what was now a fucking on spot, probably they knew this was the plan, but they announced it right before the match, and then that Cole come out before this match would be Dustin Rhodes, Dan Garcia, Kyle Fletcher, and Sammy Guevara. It was a bar and a much heartbreak. Dustin Rhodes kept it started off with a great Kyle spilled on the fourfall, a standing mood song. Guevara tangled attempts from double to very teamwork to discover Fletcher flattened both men with a vicious double lariat. Okay, Sons of Texas knew Dustin was one of the favorites. But they're really kind of putting the nail, hey, Kyle Fletcher is the favorite. We know he's the favorite. He's going to win. But I'm a pick for Dustin for sure. On the floor, Guevara had a jaw drop. I was like, Tony Khan is not going to let that fucking thing go. Spanish Fly on the apron, taking both himself and Garcia out. It Michinoku driver, but Rhodes kicked out of the one. Fletcher then locked in at a figure four leg lock, only for Garcia to mirror the hold on Guevara inside the ring. The painful sentry broke down into traded slaps and reverse pressure before both men released. It was a fun match, I would say. It was pretty damn interesting. The crowd, again, it took them so much fucking long to get invested into this. I mean, the crowd was so fucking dead. They don't know what the fuck they were there for in the first place. That's the fucking case, and you don't understand that. If you're a fucking stupid idiot, or is. Garcia then pulled Guevara up for the rope suplex. Dustin interfered and delivered a massive flip tile driver to Fletcher, followed by a full impact crossroads. The pinfall was heartbreaking close, but Fletcher kicked out of the last possible moment. Crowd erupted as Dustin and Kyle, he hit the shattered dreams to Kyle Fletcher. And but Garcia intervened. He's like, hey, let me do it. I'm gonna do it first. And then he hit him with the dick kick. The fucking dick kick that Dustin has been doing as Goldust used to do. So he fucking did that. And then Guevara did it, and then finally Dustin did it. It was a great moment. The three amigos. Guevara delivered three amigos and attempted a frog splash. Met Garcia's knees. Guevara connected with the GTC on Garcia, and Dustin Rhodes broke up the cover, which is again hey, I could tell that they're gonna give it to Dustin somehow. Until Fletcher again came out of the deliver. Back-to-back April power downs of Garcia and Guevara. Moments later, Guevara countered a brain buster with a attempt with stunning diving ace crusher, only to eat a pile driver from Garcia. Dustin tried to steal the win with a Kurfa spin, but Garcia escaped. Another Dragon Tamer and Rhodes with a spitted. It looked like the match was over, but in a burst was Dustin reversed and hold a small package at 3 count, and Dustin Rhodes got his moment as I predicted when it was happening. I was like, it's kind of hard to make me believe that this is Texas and Dustin Rhodes is not an outright favorite. Sammy Guevara hit this time. Sammy Guevara is just only there. Oh, that's wrong because of the vote. Sammy Guevara is legit nobody actually at this point. So, but just it was so bad how they fucked his career up in AEW. Can't wait to see his ass in NXT. Swerve Strickland and Ospreay defeated, Swerve Strickland and Ospreay versus Young Bucks with the EVP titles on the line. As we knew, Swerve Strickland and Ospreay announced that they would be defending their 1 year AEW championship shot. If they lose, they're no longer going to compete for the title for 1 year. And that was really easy for the Bucks to say, hey, that's great. All the unpredictability with the match. And said the roles, the EVP roles, if they beat the EVP roles, they don't go to them, they'll go to the fans. That's also maybe we let it clear out. Early stages saw each of them trying to gain control. Ospreay and Strickland hit the tandem office like a poetry in motion cross to remove salts, while the Bucks responded with veteran possessions, isolating Ospreay and unloading a super kick far that left aerial assassin reeling. The Bucks control mid-match tempo, targeting Ospreay. The tombstones step up outside the ring and a vicious penalty kick on the apron to Strickland. But Swerve eventually turned the tide with a diving corkscrew uppercut and a brutal power slam to counter Frankenstein, and the challengers were connected with serial corkscrew moonsaults, but couldn't get the 3. It was a really good match. The crowd was eventually getting into it, but still the crowd felt like they were fucking dead beyond they were dead fight. Just, I don't know what the fuck should I say about this. Insecure about Ospreay's style clashes nearly ended. They fall in with a breathtaking combo. Swerve Stomp assisted Stormbreaker into Nicholas to break the pin outside the ring. Prince Nana was laid out with a super kick. Inside the brouhaha continued. Matthew Jackson drilled Ospreay with a low blow, leading to more bang for your buck. But still only 2. The Bucks hit the EVP trigger after EVP trigger, and still Ospreay wouldn't stay down. At one point, Ospreay accidentally clocked Swerve with a hidden blade. That was such a fucking cool moment, actually. The crowd was fucking going crazy at this point. Defying logic and gravity, re-emerged super kick after super kick before catching EVP trigger, countering the backside on a tombstone. Ospreay crushed Matthew as a Swerve strong stone, but still Matthew survived. In final moments, Ospreay removed the elbow drop. Swerve lined up with the target. Duo struck with a brutal house call and the hidden blade combo. Cod was at Young Bucks for EVPs no more. Crowd was academic, and the Young Bucks were like, that's great. That's awesome stuff. We wanted to click and answer something now. Look at this was great. This was the best match so far they fucking delivered on that show. The crowd, man, holy fucking shit, they were dead like a fucking dirt of deadness. I don't know what the fuck should I say. Women's Casino Gauntlet match. Forever Champs earned her opportunity. We'll talk about what that is. The match started with Keith Steiner and Megan Bay. They were going really right at each other. Falcon Air, risky moonsault off Yaber, open a salvo that set the tone for what's to come. Will Nightingale entered third with her former, sparking styles with her former friend Chris Statlander. A low crossbody spine buster ended things early. Ty Mello next delivered pump kicks to anyone standing, with Ty Mello coming in, and then spinning bulldog with Statlander Mello in a trap, but painful rings a star. Simba in first, come ringside of Pedal Ford and Jay, and returning Harley Cameron, which actually really got a good pop from the crowd, so they really like her for sure. Tekla stormed in with a fury of offense, and fucking Tekla with a Nightingale ended up with a Dr. Bomb on Tavern Sarah, broke it up. The devastating Doomsday device from Bade and Chris Statlander from before next countdown hit. Julia Hart was 6th entrance. Sky Blue traded Siki assets. Queen Amanada, fucking killed Queen Amanada with the Queen Crown's headbutts. Fisherman neck breakers, brutal off head, and then you broke it up with a pin surprise senton of setting up Sarah Spider suplexes. It's a fucking old tick. The night effect was a miniature Kawa came in that she wiping out Sky Blue with a Stolba and a double submissions, tried on her Dragon Stew lead, whip on Sky, Mina spiked Bane with a DDT and put inside and figure for a left lock. I couldn't fucking care much about talking about this anyways, I'm just kind of getting through this. Queen Amanada, as gave those fucking no time Queen of the House, suplex tubes to planners and Queen Amanada. Thunder Rosa charged at number 10. Live rivalry with Tina. Well, Tina was number 9, obviously. Rosa connected with a side Russian leg sweep. A Cobra that was broken up. Edward secured the win. Siri made her AEW debut, which was really cool actually. Clinical striking and flawless footwork, lighting Amina Sharkawa, rolling soul butts, snap mirrors, and a wicked roundhouse kick to the body. Finally, Alex Windsor entered at number 12, pulling straight up Siri and a spiking DDT back suplex, hardest hitting exchange, accumulating a Siri's knee and rising knee. That had everyone believe it was over until the pin was broken up. Bang, ground burst down, apron. Villa responded with an apron Death Valley driver on Latina. The apron Death Valley drivers are fucking insane. I mean, can you fucking please don't do shit on the apron? Be careful, okay? Somebody's really gonna get fucked up. Taking out the entire field in the car, crash of bodies. Yeah, everybody was taken fucking out but Megan when she drove the way she jumped over the top rope or scaled over whatever the fuck. Rosa and Mina battle inside. Chicago with a dive and sling. And Buzzsaw with apply with Figaro and Senate Athena returned the old face on nowhere, dropping Chicago flush and Truthpan fall. So I predicted that it had to be somebody that was gonna be available. I predicted it to be Athena. I was like, I don't think Tony Khan has all his fucking, as much everybody wants to say Athena is fucking Barry and with the Mercedes, whatever, and I felt that way too. We're gonna talk about that later on, but hey, whatever that was. But Athena is not buried. Athena's gonna be doing great stuff. AEW Championship match, Hurst against Bobby Lashley, Sir Shelton Benjamin, Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, Speedball, Mike Billy, and the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line. Texas, it was a Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley and Michelle Benjamin will emerge victorious, retaining their gold and asserting dominance in an incredible match. From the outside, it was clear that reigning champs were no longer the place to the defense, and Lashley and they were just fucking everybody, I believe. Like Nick Wayne and an apron launch face first whipping the steel steps for Nick Wayne. Kevin Knight called the young foot Daz and vulnerable. Jet Speed, loser speed, riding a wave of momentum and a jobber speed. Fought back violently. Mike Billy strung together. It was so fucking weird to see them getting fucking offense on the Hurt Syndicate. I get it. They're not fucking them. They don't look like they look like fucking jokes. They look like fucking things that even I can fucking squash with my fucking fist. And like, fuck off. You're not gonna make me believe that. It's like, how are you gonna make me believe that these fucking guys again? That's so corny. That's just like, oh my god, how can you fucking not make me believe? MJF saved the Hurt Syndicate as Taz ringside as the match spiraled into mayhem. All teams, Christian Cage attempted the kill switch on Lashley. The Almighty shoved him in incoming FTR. The FTR was really involved in this, and Christian Cage was being shoved into FTR, which I was set up to what was gonna happen, and everybody knew when the finish of Hurt Syndicate retains. I kind of was predicting at that point. I was like, this is gonna happen. It has to happen. It's gonna happen. So then, with the 3 count, crushing a spear on Cage with 3 count after the belt, FTR climbed the ring. Clearly, incensed after being caught in a crossfire, they're about to attack Christian. They try to backtrack and lead his team out of the ring, but shocking Nick Wayne turned on his mentor. Everyone shocking. It was gonna happen. I called it. It was about goddamn time. It was gonna happen now. Nick looked for 5. Finally, be split in 3, and the cord into the arrival of Edge on call Culpepper to the arena and to its feet. Bro, Edge coming out and put the crowd to a fucking fence. They were like, bro, they woke up like yesterday, like they were at WWE or something. The spike in hand, Red Eye superstar. Edge stormed around the ring, steaming roll Nick Wayne, clearing the field. That helped Christian to his feet. Looked him in the eye and simply said, go find yourself. Man, Mercedes Mone and Tony Storm. Dude, this fucking match kicked this show into a fucking gear. The crowd was insane. Crowd loved all the character work of the timeless Tony Storm and the CEO Mercedes Mone. Emotional, physically brutal match between these two. Build the match with a full pageantry and pressure. Mercedes entered with the cover. Goal escorted by 6 shooters. Tony Storm arrived internal production of Timeless moniker. The early going started with grapplings of Monet attempting her statement maker submission. It was a really good fucking match. Holy shit, this was as close to the 5-star match on the show could have gone, actually. Or 5 stars, I would say. Positioned up beautifully under grapevine ankle lock, but Storm powered through, reversing into a roll-up. Storm fired back, German suplexes and her signature hip attack while Mercedes clenched the champion's arm with joint manipulation and tight double wrist lock. This match was just fucking, oh my god, this match was something. I can't, I can't tell you more than ever. I just, holy shit, how much fun this match was. This match was fun. It was so entertaining. It was so damn crisp and so good. I loved it. Nonetheless, momentum swung repeatedly as both women hit signature moves. Tony landed Storm Zero, but Monet kicked out. Mercedes kicked in with the Monet Maker, but Tony somehow survived. The crowd watched fiercely by two exchange blur of counters. Monet with a back stabber, Storm with STF, Kufix attempt to a lung blower. Like, bro, they were fucking on it. Storm Zero's kickouts. Monet Maker kickouts. Like, it was like both these women were fucking felt stronger and felt like a fucking big thing to fucking cheer about right there. In the closing moment, Storm set Monet up for a final cells wide with both women exhausted, bloody. Storm pulled Mercedes to the top and turbo and planned to go with the earth shaking out avalanche. Storm Zero for the win. This was insane. Mercedes Monet got pinned, and oh my god, everybody was like, holy shit. What the fuck did we just get it all in? Mercedes Monet just get pinned? It couldn't get better. It couldn't get better for being an AEW fan again. It couldn't get fucking better. My god. I mean, got goosebumps talking about this shit. I'm not trying to talk about Hangman Adam Page and how it feels about him, man. But this, Mercedes Monet lost. My god. How the fuck is that the coolest thing I could say in the fucking world? My god, I fucking love it. Mercedes Monet losing was chef's kicks. And it was damn well needed, and then when it happened, oh my god, everybody was shocked as fuck. Nobody could predict it. It was hard to predict because Mercedes always wins, It's like, hey, Mercedes is gonna win. Mercedes is gonna win. Unified Championship match. This match, I would say, the Mercedes and Toni Storm match was fucking awesome, legit. It was something, it was something just fucking top-notch, great stuff out there. It was legit some great stuff out there with Mercedes Monet and Toni Storm. Holy shit. Timeless character elements were played really well. The back and forth, the submissions to every fucking thing they pulled through in this match was just unbelievable. The finish had me shocked that they actually fucking, I thought Toni Storm and Mercedes is gonna kick out, but I was like, oh my god, that has to be it. It was, and I was shocked that it wasn't, and my eyes were like open, like, I was like, oh shit. I don't have fucking big eyes. I was like, motherfucker, bro. What the fuck are we talking about? Mercedes Hogan got fucking pinned. My goodness. Moving on from the AEW Unified Championship match. They're called the Unified title, the AEW Intercontinental Championship, which again, they want to fucking copy everything WWE does, but now they can, I guess. I guess this is called the Unified Championship. Probably call us about the Universal title for WWE, whatever they call that fucking shit for. It's with Okada and Omega, with Don Castillo and Venom on commentary. Don Callis actually attacked Kenny Omega in the match, and it was like, oh shit, okay, that's just classic Don Callis to get heat on the crowd, and the crowd started, really getting heat on him. And the crowd realized, this guy, I don't think so they said fuck Don Callis, because I just didn't feel like an AEW crowd. It felt like a WWE or a mainstream pro wrestling crowd who is just here to see pro wrestling, and loves pro wrestling. It's just, it's a mainstream thing now. That's why this just didn't feel like some AEW fans. No. I'm sorry. These fans that we had tonight at All in Texas didn't feel like any AEW fans, didn't feel like AEW fans at all. More on from that. And then it was just back and forth, dude. My problem with this match with Okada and Kenny Omega was legit that why was this match not a, why was this match not longer? I know it was 30 minutes. I wish it could have gone 40 minutes because that would have been awesome. It just was kicked into that Tokyo Dome gear. It was just kicked in that fucking, gear that they had in New Japan at Dominion, right? Dominion is where they faced each other, I guess, if I'm not sure. Whatever. It kicked into that fucking Windy City Riot with Dominion. I think they faced each other at Dominion, Okada and Omega in New Japan. So, yeah. So I would say I wish they kicked into that gear, but they didn't. So we're gonna talk about how the match went on. In the fifth, perhaps final singles capture of the most celebrated rivalries, Kenny Omega and Kushida Okada went head-to-head, becoming the first ever pro wrestlers to win the Unified Championship. They both have the fucking the kind of their symbol stuff on their fucking on the fucking title. With Don Clark's proof Venom on the commenters, which talked about Christian Chain wrestling at psychological war. Okada delivered a cheap shot to Omega's midsection, same region damage during Omega's diverticulitis battle, setting the tone for methodical and targeted assault. My god, it was storytelling as well. There was storytelling there. And it was just so perfect. This match was just so fucking perfect. It was a perfect match. Okada relentlessly worked with Adaman DDTs on the floor, Spanish announce death stops and shoulder gustbusters. Gust. And a tombstone pile driver, having even more Omega to fight from underneath with chicken pain in the center of everything, said Taz, you can't protect your out in a match like this. Taz was fucking, Taz was pretty damn good on the commentary, man. Taz was killing it. Omega had some dragon supers with tears of V triggers, including, like, bro, Omega was giving the fucking V triggers, the back of, it was hard, had as fucking hit as could have been. Omega found a hope with the missile drop. His dragon supers a series of V triggers, including one backs the head, while Okada was draped in the ropes. He even landed at a Coit's grab and one the Angel, but as the referee Bryce Rensburg counted, Don Callis pulled him out of the ring, bro, robbing Omega of the win. Back in the ring, the action escalated again. Yeah, Don Callis was fucking all the time, but he made sure that Kenny Omega didn't get nothing. First, he went and he started beating up Kenny Omega like he always does. He already beat up Ospreay. I guess he got out of his fucking commentary chair and started beating him with the looking like oh, wait, hey, yeah, look, I did this, and the crowd started booing him. It's classic fucking Don Callis, man. Come on, it's Don Callis at his best. We don't have to say much about that, but like, and then he said, he fucking dragged him out of the fucking room with his legs. Yeah, this match was fucking awesome and fucking insane. Just fucking perfect match, I would say. I wish it went longer because it deserved to, really. It was kicked into that. It was about to being kicked into that over 5-star match. It's not a 5-star match. No, it's probably not. I give it a 4.5. It's not a 5-star match, but it's a 4.5-star match. It's not a 5-star match. And you want to remember a 5-star match? I don't think it was a 5-star match. It could have gone into that fucking, could have gone to a 6 or 7, 8-star match. I don't care what the fuck it could have done, but you know, he's talking about that over and over again. In a match, they redefined brutality. Hangman, that's Hangman shit. I'm reading what the fuck I'm reading right now. Okada absorbed it in the next reverse shove with on final hit at the emphatic Rainmaker lariat, becoming the inaugural AEW Unified Champ. I knew that Kenny Omega winning here would not really elevate him. Kenny Omega is fucking Kenny Omega. Okada is the guy you have brought over from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and all the aura he had at New Japan Pro Wrestling, is what we have seen him we have seen him have that fucking aura in AEW. So that was interesting that they went in to do that, and they fucking went in and they said, hey, let's fucking do that. And I was like, okay, good job on you, man. Good job. It was insane that the fucking actually had Okada will win the fucking thing, because Okada needs some things to, fucking fix up his career and all that fucking shit with the Elite, because that's been just corny as fuck. And now Okada can go back to being the old of Okada. New Japan had that aura again that he did, and stop saying bitch and all that shit. I mean, it's entertaining for what it is. I get it, it's comedy, it's his character, but it's like him move on from the fucking Elite now. Because Okada has been really fucking ruined here in AEW. He's not Okada of New Japan. We haven't seen that Okada of New Japan. And we saw a lot of that in this show tonight. We could have seen a lot more, but they didn't. They fucking want to do more minutes to their match, I guess. Whatever, but Moving on, I think the Okada is gonna be fucking great. Unified champion. I think this champion's getting some kind of universal title, like how it was in WWE. So it's great stuff. Now for the main event, the actual main event, which everybody was concerned, because they were saying Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada, would that be the main event, or would be Mercedes Mone and Timeless Tony Storm? Would that be the main event? And it was obvious and more than ever that it was Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley. With Hangman Adam Page, man, when he came out, it's just I don't know if you talk about that. There's a moment of realization. Something's gonna happen. That this is gonna happen, and it's gonna happen, and there's nothing anybody can even think that this won't happen. Is when he came out, and when one of the ladies were singing our song for him, sonating the song. Let's say that right. And one of the ladies was doing that shit, worked that for him, and then after that, it was ever the guitar playing, and then just the vibe. It was like, okay. When that fucking thing was going on, I was like, holy shit, he's winning. And then the promo package, I was sure for my fucking fuck. I was like, he's winning this. He is winning this. The way the promo package they did, I was like, you get this promo package and you have him not win is the most stupidest decision I think he could have made. And it started going crazy, and now the fucking Death Riders came in, and then Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley, we started going at each other with fucking Jon Moxley kicking him with a fucking kicking him with his leg, and then going at each other, and eventually Jon Moxley picks up a fucking fork, and now he starts to attack Hangman Adam Page with the damn fork, and now Hangman Adam Page is legit, he dodges it, with Jon Moxley just fucking bashes that fork into the fucking turnbuckle. It's worked up there, and then Hangman Page brings out his fork, and then Jon Moxley goes for and then Jon Moxley puts his fork in the pocket, which was a fucking mistake actually for what had happened. And then Jon Moxley just starts getting fucking beat down with a fucking. Then Jon Moxley tries to fucking shoulder tackle him or tackle him down. But then Hangman Page catches him in a fucking leg lock, and then first starts fucking stabbing him. It starts fucking stabbing him. He just fucking stabs him. And on fucking shot, Jon Moxley pierced through with all the blood raining down his fucking face and his head. And on his forehead, he fucking pierced. It was a fucking real fork that they fucking used for that fucking. He was bleeding like fucking profusely right out of the fucking gate, dude. Like, that's fucking John. That's Jon Moxley the old for you, if you know. Loves to play it a lot. After that, there were crazy stuff going on. It was back and forth with Hangman Adam Page. They were getting strikes. It was a brutal ass fucking Texas stats match with the fucking Hangman Adam Page. Now Jon Moxley in control of him. Bulldog locks to fucking. Chairs to all those shit and all the fucking thing and just destroying a barbed wire chair and just blow Hangman Adam Page and then while Mox was trying to actually put the barbed wire in Hangman Adam Page's mouth, and Excalibur was saying, hey, Hangman, close your mouth. It was like, that was kind of a little funny, but it was really fucking barbaric, of all I'll say. It was a really fucking barbaric match. It was just back and forth, the chair shots. And all, it was insane. I'm not even talking about it because this is the match I can remember the most, actually. It was just fucking barbaric, dude, and it was insane. And then again, with the Hangman Adam Page or Jon Moxley, Hangman out bleeding and just colored and all the color. I wanted a little more detail. I wanted his hair to get wet. I was like, Mox to pick up a water or to a drink in his hair, but he gets his hair wet. But the blood on his face, the blood in his hair that made his fucking him a redhead almost. It was fucking insane. It was some awesome stuff. And then you had the fucking, it was crazy. You had fucking the Death Riders interfering or whatever the fuck going on. You had fucking, shit going on with that. You had the, as I said, the cameos there, which would say is kind of like Wrestlemania light, but hey, I won't say it is. I think that this was their own thing, and they fucking killed it for it being their own fucking thing. And for that reason, that fucking thing that they pulled off with those fucking shots and all that shit they did. Like, my god. Awesome stuff. So Hangman Adam Page then goes on to just get in with Jon Moxley and just fucking doing stuff to him too, and the fucking he hit him with the what you call that fucking farts? I forgot that thing he does. The Death Valley Driver. No, we just followed the Death Valley Driver. It's called the Heat Seeker. That's the MJF one. Whatever, I think he hit him in one of the things. I forget his move, but whatever. When I talk about it in the fucking thing right here, and I'll review what they're talking about in this match and whatever nonsense. And nonetheless, and then you got your fucking WrestleMania like kind of cameos, but it will say it's more of their own thing. They didn't really make it to be WrestleMania, so I really enjoyed it how they did it. Bryan didn't come out to Bryan Danielson coming out of Jon Moxley saying, "Oh my god, it's Bryan Danielson! Holy shit, Bryan came out of nowhere, fucking took out Wheeler Yuta in a mask, and just started going fucking crazy. Crowd was in a fucking frenzy. The crowd is chanting, yes, 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 yes. This crowd fucking lost it, legit. And then fucking Darby Allin got his fucking promo, and he reeled from the fucking skies of Globe Life Field Pro. I felt scared for Darby. I was like, okay, he's a fucking daredevil. What am I freaking scared from him? He was so high in the fucking rafters of Globe Life Field. He was just so high. Oh my god, like he had to fucking... That was such, like, those was coolest things I ever saw as AEW ever first shot. Like, the shot of Darby being just so fucking high, and he fucking top of the world, climbing Mount Everest, and then he fucking cuts promo on Jon Moxley on top of Mount Everest. It couldn't get fucking better. And then you have all that stuff, and then Marina Shafir, and then you have fucking, Ospreay also came out in between one of those stuff, and Ospreay got his fucking head bashed in, like how Samoa Joe got his head bashed it. Should be the guy to talk about, which is the reason they did that first trio, especially tonight. I want to sell you the idea, hey, Hangman, they really have weakened Hangman's help and whatever the fuck, and then it's back and forward with those two, and eventually the Bucks come out here, they start attacking Hangman, and then it's Swerve Strickland who finally has ended his thing with Hangman and ended his beef with Hangman to work for better for the company and for the product of AEW, and Swerve Strickland forgives and buries the grudge that he had against Hangman, and they did Action Collision. They talked about it. I think one of the best segments they've ever done on Collision ever. So, and then Hangman had a page, and Jon Moxley got the frickin', and then he said, "Hey, show him the title. Show him the title. He's never gonna see the title. He's the all that." Show him the title, give him the one last scoop, because they were never going to show him the title. And then that was a distraction for Prince Nana to lock in Marina Shafir. Marina Shafir was locked in. Hangman had a page. And, with Jon Moxley on the top of the fucking spikes, the spike fucking thing, the full of spikes, the nails, holy shit, I don't know, fuck to say, whatever the fuck that was. That was painful to see. You know what, Jon Moxley that spiked into his fucking back? That was even more disgusting. So disgusting things I've ever seen. It was not even good storytelling. There was no reason for that to happen in the first place. Well, but this was a reason, and this really felt like there was a story into it. It made sense, and all the fucking stabbing into his back, and Jon Moxley's just fucking benching with fucking, pain. And all that, and him at a page, get his fucking head on top of that fucking spiked stuff. And fucking nails on that thing, dude. It was insane. And then, Swerve should have taken out everybody, and then Hangman at a page eventually hitting the buckshot lariat, and to fucking choking him out. Jon Moxley got out of it, and the second time he tried to get it, this time he locks it in. He really did the same finish he did at AEW Revolution over 2 years ago, where he beat Jon Moxley in Texas Deathmatch 10, and this is the same way he does it, with Jon Moxley just getting choked out and merely having a fucking seizure and be fucking choked out with that fucking chain, and he taps to ovation of the crowd popping up crazy, to the cowboy roaring in agony and through pain and everything he has been through. That fucking image I talk about, it's nothing more than anything. you know, him roaring into that fucking field in that fucking way of feeling like, hey, I fucking did it. Good God, I fucking did it, you know. Yeah, it was great. So, Hangman Page stealing that fucking finish, you know, the roaring into all that. I mean, awesome stuff right there. Moving on, now let's talk about the match in general, which we'll talk about, so, you know, in general, this match was insane. With him winning with that fucking finish, and just, it's awesome. And the roaring, thunderous pop from the crowd, crying his blood down his face, blood in his hair, bloodied up, fucked up, crying, and just eventually slowly opening the briefcase, and then picking up the title with tears, and with that roar of relief. The roar he did, you know, like a broken down man, when he fucking put the needle in Swerve's mouth, and he fucked him up. This was not even close. This was better. That's what that roar was. The roar of, I finally did it. I finally I fucking fixed myself. I went through hell in these past few years. You know, fucking, I can cast aside from the CM Punk situation to all this going on with Swerve and all that, with the Elite and everything he's been through, and fucking getting to this fucking moment and as being a cowboy and winning in Texas as a cowboy, it couldn't get any fucking better for Hangman Adam Page. Let's just get in more review here with this match. A barbaric Texas death match. With this was not just a you know, title fight. This was more bloody by a broken glass, which I forgot to talk about. Page's part of her off to brutal races. Forks were introduced early with Page gouging Moxley's forehead, which I talked about earlier, which he legit fucking tried to stab him so badly. But rapid barbed wire around Hangman's face, drawing deeper wounds. Marina Shafir joined the assault by biting at Page's lacerations, which I now remember. I forgot about that for a second. From there, violence escalated rapidly. Moss introduced a barbed wire steel chair, launched into Page's head, and followed with a crossface strikes and a stomp, but embedded glass into Page's back tables outside the ring, which the two still pile driver into the glass, which that did happen. Other God-style pyro to the back of the chair, and had Moxley firmly control, but Hangman refused to stay down. Hangman was people threw him a lot of pain, like it was fucking insane. The glass spots, all that, they really sweated, and then obviously Page lighted the Deadeye. And no, Page fired back, powerbomb and bed backs of two steel chairs and barbed wire wrapped rolling elbow. Like, that was insane. Page, like, put Jon Moxley with a powerbomb. He picked him up, and he fucking on his back. That's so gnarly as fuck. I can't wait to describe you that shit, dude. Page, and then eventually, you know, with the Angel's wings, he hit the Angel's wings, you know, nod to push the bananas. Maria Shafir returned, and then only to get Death Valley Driver off the apron to a table by Hager. Which to happen. Page landed dead out of the glass. Okada got the gave Kid Up to swarm him again as I looked into the Orum Hangman out of Page. I forgot the Death Fighters didn't interfere. I did not say what gave Kevin Mulosper arrived to say, only to be decimated by cheer by Claudio, which again how Claudio took out Samoa Joe. Claudio took out Ospreay. Ospreay was stretched out. Moxley took advantage of suplex Hangman apron and through barbed wire tables, which was fucking insane. Then had a God style pile driver followed by a bulldog choke, which did finish it. He leveled Page with a death driver into the back of chair. Still, Hangman stood at 9. Like, it was also like it was kind of a last man standing Texas death match. You can see that's also like this little last man standing rules in it. A bag would pass to Mox, the classic bag, only for Brian who the like used to end Brian Dennis for his month. Mox preferred to fit Darby on a video promo from summit of Mount Everest, promising revenge, and then Brian Danielson returned. Yeah, you knew Darby Allin was gonna like, but that fucking, you know, how he said to Jon Moxley, he cut a fucking promo on top of Mount Everest to Jon Moxley. Filmed that. That's what's great, actually. The Brian Danielson returned dressed in blue, this guy under a mask, stood into the ring in the blue cycle knee, and then began unloading kicks on Death Rider's side. Arena erupted. Seconds later, Darby repelled from the ceiling, descending like a specter of vengeance. So that was so fucking cool, Darby Allin. and he wiped out the remaining Death Fighters with a coffin drop, while Danielson launched Wheeler over the barricade. Back in when Hangman dropped Moxley with a buckshot lariat, followed with a Deadeye off the apron to a table. Moxley struggled to rise, managed to fear helped him up, flipping off Page, but the fight wasn't over yet. The Young Bucks hit the ring, super kick party, EVP trigger aiding Moxley. Introducing a bed of nails from under the ring. Moxley drove Page into the blackout. Into it with a blackout, followed by the paradigm shift into the nails, yet somehow Hangman survived. Yeah, bro, the fucking paradigm shift and the nails are like, oh, that was just like, obviously, you know, he put his hand, because obviously he doesn't want his fucking brain to get fucking damaged, bro. Like, it's insane. It's not gonna, it's a fucking real nail, so the nail had real nails as fuck. Introducing a bed of nails from under the ring. Mox drove Page into the blackout. All that I said, I already talked about it. And Mox demanded the locked briefcase, so AEW World Title waiting to take out. And then Prince Nana appeared at Hank, come Marina Shafir to the barricade, which we talked about it before. Prince Nana is such a fucking genius. The moments are Swerve who made his choice. Stranding in the earth, Hangman's old steel chain. Swerve took out the Young Bucks, then walked to the apron ahead, chained to the former. Bitter web, but Swerve helping Hangman win. This was the finish. Is what everybody told you. It was the plan. Swerve is going to help Hangman become AEW World Champion. He wrapped the chain around his wrist to level Mox with loaded punches, then looped around his neck and draped him over the top rope. Buck shouldered the bed of nails, followed by another final lead. Page hung John Moxley's top rope again. The chain clutch, cinch tie, Mox struggled with sheer panic. All was fit was from a seizure nearly, but he has recourse to a quick tap out to give the Page championship once more. He grabbed it, ripped it open, brought the big beautiful belt back into the light where it belongs, holding the championship high over his head. Hangman got emotional while the entire Crown Armament Cyber has won. Hangman is our AEW champion, and All In was a night unlike any other. Nothing more to say enough. I have not said enough already. Yeah, I'll give my thoughts and reviews for it. I would say the start of the, it was a great moment. This fucking match was insane. All the stuff I just talked about, this fucking match was lit. It was just a fucking insanity. My God, this match is pro wrestling at its best. And, you know, Jim Cornette can fucking suck my dick if he cared. I could care less. What shit boring it feels. I know he has his opinions because of things, you know, all the shit's on it. I could care less right here. This is what it was needed, and it was awesome for what it was. I mean, you're not gonna fucking go out there to compare it to the Bloodline Rules match. We're not doing that. This was its own thing. It's the only special thing that they made it to be. And my God, it was so entertaining. It was so good. It was more than that. It was not just Blood and Reese. It was more than that. It was just a great match. Overall, the show started off a bit low at the start for a while. The crowd felt fucking dead throughout it. It was a low rip, but overall, it was a damn great show. It was a great show. It wasn't excellent, really. I would say I wish everything on the show really fucking delivered it to be excellent. But it wasn't really feeling excellent. But it was a damn great show. It was a great show. It was like I would say it's in the middle of great and excellent. It was great. It was great. And X's. It could have been excellent. It was close to it. But nonetheless, the main event was, I don't need to give any stars to the main event. It was storytelling. It was peak everything. It was just awesome. That main event is probably one of the greatest main events AEW has ever put on. It is the best AEW main event at all in history. Bryan's doesn't beat it. Adam Cole and MJF, which had a fucking awesome main event, that doesn't beat it too. I'm sorry. This was just... There were more stakes here. Mox had the fucking title for so fucking long, and his fucking group that he was leading, and the Death Fighters were rolling over. And, you know, enough said about this. I would say that'll be it for the All in Texas review. And I will be at the Spaders. We're out. Buck out.